Well, it's the middle of May. We finally got a little break in the weather, and we're standing here at Lewis Harbor Marina, which means it's time for our annual black drum fishing trip aboard the Little Angler 2 with Delaware Family Fishing. Now, a lot of our previous trips with Captain Brian Wozlevek have been successful, so we're pretty optimistic that we're going to have a good night getting those big black drum in. The Little Angler 2 is fueled up, the crew is on board, and all are ready to battle some big black drum. Not that Captain Brian is gonna need a lot of fuel, he's just heading out into the Delaware Bay to fish off of Slaughter Beach. This boat may look familiar. If you remember, a bunch of black sea bass were just caught on here, and it's back-to-back days of fishing out of Lewis Harbor for us. And despite how optimistic we might be about our drumming prospects, Captain Brian tries to keep us grounded.
Drum fishing this year has been very hit or miss. I'm hoping that today will be a hit day and we can get some. But the bite's been, if we get 2 fish, I'll be extremely happy.
Since Captain Brian has removed our heads from the clouds, we'll think back to some previous drum trips and just hope for the best.
Oh, the black drum.
Seriously, if Les just got one, we just got one.
Listen to that. That is awesome.
Get some live.
The last few years have been good, catching at least 4 or 5 black drum each time, so maybe we're due for a dud.
I think one of the reasons is there hasn't been a lot of pressure put on the fish this year. I mean, people aren't fishing as hard for them this year as they have in years past. So you haven't really narrowed down where they're at.
Maybe thanks can be given to the weather this year for keeping anglers off the drum, but it's always fun hauling these big guys in. Hopes are still high that it will be a good night, with sweet-smelling clams the bait of choice to lure the big bottom dwellers to the line. After a bit of waiting, there's a fish on, and it just so happens WBOC's Sussex County Bureau Chief Evan Kozloff is on board, so he's reeling in. Oh yeah, and it's his first time fishing. Unfortunately, it's not a black drum, but at least Evan can say his first fish was a shark.
That was my first fish. A city boy caught a fish.
Since fishing has not been very productive, Captain Brian decides to make a move.
So now we're going to go up to the north end of the coral beds and go in a little bit shallower. We were in about 15 feet, and now we're going to go into about 12 or 13 feet. That's a drum. That's a drum. That's a drum. That's a drum.
It looks like there are fish in the area. We just need them to bite. But as we approach the magic hour, the only ones to bite are the dogfish.
It's a shark called Quested.
Oh.
We're at the prime time right now, so hopefully we'll get a bite. I haven't heard of any of the other boats doing anything too. I think it's going to be one of those nights. We are getting bit, just the wrong species.
Well, after dark, just before everyone's hopes have vanished, there's a bite that feels like a drum, and Evan is in the hot seat.
You want to lift up and not reel, and then reel down. Lift up, reel down.
I think it's a nice fish.
One drum is definitely better than none, and even though we didn't set the bay on fire, a first-time angler got to catch his first fish.
Now I definitely made outdoors dumb one.
So until next time, we'll be looking forward to hooking up with the big black drum of the Delaware Bay.